There's a new wine series launching this week. Hey kid, you want a glass of wine? And is it time to give Oregon's Syrah a try? I think it may be. All that and more on this episode of This Week Uncorked. Well, hello and welcome to episode 13 of This Week Uncorked for Monday, October 14th, 2024. I'm Brett Martin from Cork and Journey, your number one source for corkage fees, wine reviews, and winery reviews, restaurant reviews, and more. We've got a lot of news this week, so with that, let's jump right on into it. All right. So, hey, Wine Business, if you don't know, great publication. They have published a press release by Sommelier Andrea Immer Robinson, and she is launching a brand new series called Quench, and it's going to be a monthly YouTube show, a podcast, and it's going to be premiering October 16th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on her YouTube channel. Just wanted to throw out a big shout out here. I love it when Master Somms or Masters of Wine do their shows on YouTube. If you don't check them out, there are some absolute great ones out there. Constantine Baum is doing one. A friend of mine, Peter Neptune School of Wine. He's got one that's went out shorts. He's a Master Somm. Constantine Baum's a Master of Wine. Anyway, Andrea Immer Robinson, Master Sommelier, has got her own new series coming out. They're always informative. They're always good. So I'm looking forward to it. That's 2 days from now. So go ahead and check that out. Just wanted to give a nice plug out to her as well. And also in the news, Wine Searcher has got a hysterical article on wine marketing surfs the youth edge. Now, the article's actually, it's funny in point it's only, but it actually talks to, there's a website over in France called Charlie Hebdo. You might remember a long time ago, there was a bad thing that happened to them, but they are, if you're familiar with The Onion, they're kind of a satirical magazine. Basically, French marketing, they've been trying to target a younger demographic, and I guess they've just gone a little too far in some of their marketing as it goes down to youth. So really interesting article. I suggest you check it out. From the article itself, Charlie Hebdo clearly has an axe to grind with the domestic wine lobby, and some of the issues are particular with France. The gist should be taken seriously by all wine communicators. After all, if you're producing content that would go down perfectly with a 14-year-old, should the wine world really be celebrating its contribution to the industry? There's just a whole interesting thing going on here, and it's a problem. We've talked about this on previous shows. Wine drinkers are aging. They're aging up. Younger drinkers are not drinking wine. Wine has gotten exceptionally expensive in a lot of cases, and younger drinkers can't afford it. They'd rather buy a bottle of spirits. So you've got to have some sort of marketing. Something's got to give in the wine world. But evidently some of this marketing has gotten out of control. So it's a funny article. This article's good. The Charlie Hebdo article is hysterical. Got to translate it, but it's a good article. Anyway, and with that, I want to do a quick plug to our friend Rex Pickett. If you want to, head over to rexpickettbooks.com. He has all of his books there. He's written 4 sideways books. He's written a book called The Archivist, which is a non-sideways book. He's got more sideways books coming on. He's got sideways memorabilia, posters. He will autograph them. He will sign them. He will send them to you personally. And if you use the code CORK10, you will get 10% off your entire order over at rexpickettbooks.com. Great friend of the show, and highly recommend you check that out. And I believe our interview and blind tasting of Merlot that we did with Rex a couple weeks ago in Napa is going to be dropping here soon on our YouTube channel as well. So you want to check that out. We had an absolutely great time, and it was a lot of fun. And with that, moving on with the rest of the news. I'm trying to keep things upbeat. I'm not, keeping them down, but in wine, it seems like lately wine news has just been one crazy bad story after another. Here's one I couldn't ignore. Craziness in Jura, a little region over in France, make some great wines over there. Some thieves went through. The winemaker was about to harvest the next day, went to his fields to harvest, and the entire crop had been harvested and stolen and taken away. Gone. Just absolutely crazy. Basically, small producer, but 1,800 pounds of grapes stolen directly from the vineyard, everything he had. It's just crazy. We had another story around this where someone, I don't know if we talked about it or not, I was just reading it. Someone just came through pure vandalism and took saws and cut down all the vines, just cut through all the vines, basically destroying an entire crop for a very long time. It takes 4 or 5 years for a new vine to produce once it's been destroyed, once a new one's been planted. So, anyway, really bummer story. But, with all that's been going on in France with the mildew and the rain and the hail, I mean, as it is, production is way down anyway. Last year, it's been averaging, I think, 80,000 hectoliters per acre. And because of everything that's going on in France, it's going to be down to 35,000 hectoliters per acre this year. So look for those French wines to get a little more pricey because it's definitely going to be a push on a hurt on demand there. All right, and wrapping up the news, we've got a great story from the Oregon Wine Press. If you are not familiar with this publication, I highly suggest you check it out. They just, every time we're up in Oregon, first time we were up there, we found this magazine. I subscribed to it. When you're heading up to Oregon, doing Oregon wines, it's just invaluable. You kind of get great information as to what's happening in that region, what they're doing. Small little publication. I think it's $40 a year. Really recommend you support it. They've got a nice article on Syrah in Oregon. And with climate change, we talk about this all the time. It's one of those grapes that's doing exceptionally well up in Oregon. I love Syrah. It's a great grape. Because of its cooler climate up in Oregon, it's really given it they're beautiful, beautiful wines. We've had several Syrahs up there. Anyway, nice article. Check it out. Check out the Oregon Wine Press and check out some Oregon Syrah. I went to my cellar, didn't have any, so I think we drank it all because I know we have had some in the past. But I did find this, and I wanted to talk about this, kind of go a whole nother subject here, but this is the Eliza Jane Syrah from Dawn's Dream Winery. This is in Carmel Valley. This is Jack Galante from Galante Vineyards. We've got some interviews with him on our YouTube channel as well. Anyway, this is a fantastic Syrah, and I just wanted to plug it because I like it a lot. Not paying us anything. I'm friends, just, I like the wine. So anyway, check that out. And with that, let's get on into our wine and winery of the week. Now, here's a shocker. We're going to talk about Akash Winery in Temecula. Temecula, yes. So, Temecula is it's fun. It's a great place to go. A lot of people in Southern California head down there. They don't have to drive all the way to Napa. It's just such a quick trip, especially if you're in San Diego or in Orange County. It's the quickest wine region for you to get to. It has been difficult over the years. They've gotten better and better over time as they basically kind of improve their wine making and what they're doing. And we were down on a trip recently to see a jazz concert and stumbled into Akash. And I mean stumbled. And man, what a joy. Just had a wonderful time. Our host was amazing. The service was amazing. And the wines were very good to outstanding for the most part. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. They have one wine which they call their unfiltered Cabernet Sauvignon, and they do a Petit Syrah, and they're charging for it. This is literally $125 a bottle, which is Napa pricing for a Temecula wine, but 30 years racked every 2 months from barrel to barrel in new French oak and used French oak. And just they've got a winemaker there, Renato Sayas. He's up from Valle de Guadalupe, and they have got him in there, and he's just doing some amazing things for them. But this is crazy because normally what I find is whenever we go to some of these kind of lesser known wine regions, wherever it may be, you kind of taste through the wines, and at the end of the day, you get one that's just, you think, wow, this is great, and you buy it. And you get home and you taste it and you're like, no, it wasn't great. It was just kind of the best of the day. That's not the case with Akash. This was quite outstanding across the board. So if you're there, that's one of the wineries I think you should definitely check out. That I would throw Carter Estates into that as well. A couple others, but there's a lot of wineries up there. But most of the time, though, it's just about having a good time in Temecula. So I just want to give a quick shout out to them and Akash. It's always good finding something like that just is an unexpected pleasure. And the wine of the week, I don't have a bottle of it, but I did just order a case. It's the Télégramme Châteauneuf-du-Pape. This wine it's crazy. starting to see it on some wine lists. We actually were up in Tahoe at a conference that we were doing. And we were there basically eating at the same couple restaurants, and both of these had this on their wine list. We tried it out the first night. It became our go-to wine for the 3 days. It was just, it's about $70 a bottle, I think, retail, $65 retail. They had it going for like $110 on the wine list, which is super, super inexpensive from a markup perspective. Most of the time, restaurants are marking up 2-3 times the cost of whatever that bottle is. Oftentimes in a restaurant, if you're buying a glass of wine and that glass of wine is $20 a glass, that means the retail for the bottle is probably $20. That's kind of a rule of thumb. So, I mean, it's crazy. So you'll see it on the wine list for $80 because you usually get 4 or 5 glasses. So you do the 4X markup on a glass of wine or a bottle of wine, pretty crazy. But this one being marked up less than 50%, right at 50%. It was quite a bargain. And it was just amazing. At the end, we basically tried it again, did a nice review on it. I'm really, really impressed with this. I found it on Kermit Lynch, bought a case. It was sold out. It's back on Kermit Lynch. We got the link in there. Again, we're not paid for this, but check it out. I highly recommend. If you're into Châteauneuf-du-Pape, this is a GSM blend. Super nice. Just, I think it's heavy on the Grenache, but great wine across the board. And I suggest you check it out. And that, let's head over to our restaurant and Corkage of the week. Well, several episodes ago, I talked about Wine Spectator's 13 Las Vegas restaurants with the best wine lists. And Tina and I have made a commitment to go to all of them and we have to do it. Someone has to. And to basically go ahead and find out, check them out, check out their wine list, check out the food. Well, the first one we went to was Lotus of Siam. Man, oh man, this is a fantastic Thai restaurant. They used to have 2 locations. Now they just have 1. But if you are dining and eating Thai food, then really what you want is a really nice dry Riesling or Gewürztraminer, something along that line. And their Riesling list is ridiculous. I think it's over 500 Rieslings are on this list. And it pairs beautifully with Thai food. We're blown away. I mean, wonderful service, wonderful restaurant, amazing food, killer wine list. And their corkage fee is only $35. So even though they've got that great wine list, you could bring in your own wine. I'm going to give another plug here. If you haven't been to Napa and visited Trefethen when you're in Napa, I highly recommend that. They will do vineyard tours and they make an absolutely killer dry Riesling as well. So worth checking them out. So I would do that as well. So anyway, that's it. That's our restaurants. That's our Corkage for the week. That's another episode of This Week Uncorked. I want to thank everybody so much for joining us. As always, if you would, please subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on YouTube, follow us on social media, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.